it is no longer sufficient to sit on the sidelines and offer suggestions which are most often ignored. I'm therefore coming before you in all humility and in response to the calls from my party and the generality of the people of Ghana to offer myself to serve this country and its people that I love so dearly by first putting myself up for election in the oncoming NDC presidential primaries. There are many who say that my words just before I left office in 2016, that posterity will be the judge, have proven prophetic in the face of the abysmal performance of the MPP government and their harrowing dismantling of our country's prospects. But my brothers and sisters, I'm not the kind of leader who derives pleasure from or who can smile at my country's failings, even the failings of my political opponents. As noted by Otto von Bismarck, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. As far as I'm concerned, there is no vindication to be derived from the suffering of the Ghanaian people. I'm offering myself for public office at this time because I appreciate the enormity of the task ahead, owing to the level of damage that has been done to our country by this government. And I also know that such a mountainous task requires a steady, unifying, and experienced hand to build the Ghana we want together. And as I said, this is no time for experimentation. Ghana at this time does not need a try-me-too leader. Our country at this time urgently needs a leader with an unwavering desire to get things done in a no-frills, no-thrills, business-like manner. Not one enamored with sloganeering, excessive partisanship, personal comfort, and shallow populism. Ghana's next leader should exercise sound judgment and be able to make the right calls at the right time. A leader who accepts responsibility and works to fix the problem, and not one who shifts blame onto others. The leader should be one whose heart is filled with compassion for the people and who has the humility to connect with and understand the needs of the people he serves. Our country requires a visionary leader who will build a prosperous and progressive Ghana for all Ghanaians and not just a few family and friends. We in the NDC will not run a government of slogans. Instead, we will run a government of action. As a leader, you should be held accountable for your promises to the people. Your word should always be your bond. Ghana's next leader should exercise sound judgment and be able to make the right calls, as I said, at the right time. Such a leader must continue and, for emphasis, have the humility and presence of mind to take responsibility. And as I said, in this government, nobody wants to take responsibility for anything that goes wrong. Our next leader should be a leader whose heart is filled with compassion, as I said, for the people who he has the humility to connect with and understand. He should not be a leader who views the public purse as a family japadier, or in English, heirloom, or even the mandate given to him by Ghanaians to govern. He must not view it as a manifestation of his birthright. A leader who has his sights on leaving a legacy for posterity, that is what we need today. And with all the humility I can muster, I believe that I possess these qualities and that I'm uniquely placed having sat back the past few years to take stock of our country's trajectory. I'm aware of the extent of work that awaits the next government. There's so much to fix, there's so much to repair, and there's so much to heal. But I'm set and ready, very ready. I am set and ready, very ready, to build the Ghana we want together with you. Our mission as the NDC is to get out of the current nightmare and to get out of it together, reaching to one another, listening to one another, and providing hope for all Ghanaians. Working with a pool of experienced, talented, and passionate men and women, and with many others from non-political backgrounds, including the private sector and civil society, who simply want the best for Ghana and who desire to transform our country and its people, it can and will be done. The first order of business will be to reset our country to its default settings, as envisioned by the founders of the Fourth Republic. A nation of peace and prosperity built on the principle of integrity, justice, and equity, respect for human rights and personal freedoms. A leadership of modesty and humility that forges consensus and carries the people along in the implementation of its policies and programs. At the top of our priorities as the new government in 2025, God willing, inshallah, at the top of those priorities will be to restore stability and inclusive growth to our economy. This way, we'll do this by bringing the various indicators under control to relieve Ghanaians of their suffering. We will strictly enforce prudence and responsibility in the management of public finances by cutting out waste and ostentation, which have become a common brand under this administration. Together, we will build the Ghana we want. We shall restore faith in our almost collapsed financial system and embark on sweeping reforms at the Bank of Ghana. We shall actively pursue policies to ensure robust local participation in our banking, financial, telecommunications, mining, agriculture, agribusiness, and manufacturing sectors. And all this will be anchored on our plan to grow the economy and create sustainable employment for our young people. We will make investments in productive sectors of the economy, like agriculture, industry, technology, digitalization, and tourism to spur growth and generate jobs for the teeming youth who continue to lose hope in our country day by day. My brothers and sisters, my comrades, with a limited fiscal space we are likely to inherit because of the mismanagement of the economy under the NPP, a new NDC government will give priority to continuing and completing abundant and ongoing projects rather than rushing to commence new ones. We shall not rush to commence new projects. We'll take an inventory of all the abandoned and uncompleted projects in this country, and we will focus on completing them. We shall assemble and operate the leanest but most efficient government under the history of our Fourth Republic. We'll reduce significantly the size of government. And as announced in my speech at the UPSA late last year, in a crisis situation like this, it is my belief that this country can be governed efficiently with 60 ministers and deputy ministers. We will initiate and undertake the most far-reaching constitutional, political, and governance reforms under the Fourth Republic, which will be aimed at restoring confidence in our democracy and governance systems while making life easier and better for the people of Ghana. In response to the concerns and calls from many of you, we will initiate and undertake the most far-reaching constitutional, political, and governance reforms that will restore confidence in our democracy. We will continue and bring to conclusion the constitutional review process that was begun by the late President Atta Mills, which will include a review of the controversial Article 71 to reduce the number of office holders under Article 71 and reduce the disparities in privileges and emoluments vis-à-vis the public sector and civil service. The payment of ex gratia to members of the executive under Article 71 will be scrapped. And the necessary constitutional steps to abolish that payment will start in earnest in 2025. We will also begin the process of persuading the other arms of government other than the executive to accept the removal of these ex gratia payments. Issues pertaining to the excessive powers of the president, proper separation of powers, strengthening of parliament, restoring the independence of the judiciary, independent and quasi-independent state institutions, and depoliticizing them will take center stage of the new administration. With renewed vigor, we will work to restore confidence in all institutions of state so that our people will see their institutions working for them as they should, with utmost professionalism and non-interference from political actors. We must, for instance, end the chaos that now characterizes the computerized school selection and placement system for BEC graduates. As a first step to resolve this issue with the computerized placement, we should allow students to only complete their applications for SHS after they have received their BEC results. This will put them in a better position to know what their actual grades are and make them able to match them with the cutoff grades and raw scores of the senior high schools they wish to be admitted to. This will moderate expectation, ensure effective demand based on real results, and address the uninformed demands we currently see. It will also root out corruption and blatant discrimination from the school placement process. Fellow councilmen and women, the time has come for Ghanaians to receive proper accountability from those they elect to political office. This accountability can only be achieved by a new party coming into government in 2025. I promise Ghanaians that we shall investigate how public funds have been expended. And this includes the COVID-19 audit and the findings. It includes the COVID-19 audit and the findings from the Auditor General's report over the years. We must clean the Augean stables and rid them of the filth and corruption. The anti-corruption institutions will be given unfettered access to do their work. The days of the infamous clearing agents will be well and truly over. To ensure efficiency and professionalism in this endeavor, institutions of state will be empowered to work independently without interference. State-owned enterprises will not be a gravy train for political apparatchiki. We shall reintroduce the hallmark of my previous administration, and that is tolerance for criticism and the creation of a conducive atmosphere for the media to do its work without the fear of threats, harassment, and possible assassination. My brothers and sisters, I've heard many of my colleagues and comrades say that our next NDC government must also exact its pound of flesh. My fellow party cadres, my brothers and sisters, I dare say that there's no use fighting for political power if it is only to come and repeat the same mistakes that the MPP has made. We must therefore engage our grassroots to work together with us to build the Ghana we want. To be able to achieve all the above, we must see different personalities and backgrounds only. We must not see NDC and MPP. We must not see Ga or Ewe or Akan or Dagomba. We must not see different religions, Muslim and Christian and traditional religions. We must look to ourselves and we must see Ghanaians as one people united with one destiny. You and I, hand in hand and working together in building the Ghana we want, it will take grit, it will take determination, but we have what we have not had before, the benefit of hindsight and reflection from afar, and the benefit of experience to improve upon our successes and avoid our previous mistakes. As we roll out my campaign for the flag bearer slot of the NDC, and subsequently during the national campaign, I will engage as many of you in the public as possible and interface with various interest groups to tap into your views on how to fashion the Ghana we want. As observed by Aldous Huxley, experience is not what happens to you, it is what you do with what happens to you. In the coming days, as we go around, we will be having conversations about our country. But more important, we must put into action the plans that we would conceive together. It will not be easy. It will take determination. It will take grit. It will take tears. It will take sacrifice. I promise you that I'll share that pain and sacrifice with you. And above all, I promise you hard work. I wish to assure you, my fellow Akatamansonians, that I've heard your concerns on how we can further strengthen our party. I'll certainly make you proud by addressing those logistical needs as we work to position the party to be more responsive to your needs. We shall build the most formidable political party, and every Ghanaian will be happy and proud to associate with the NDC. Remember that in the history of the Fourth Republic, it is the NDC that has provided the most roads, water, electricity, educational, health, telecommunications infrastructure across the length and breadth of this country. It was the NDC that took the decision that every region of Ghana must have a public university. And that is why today we have University of Health and Allied Sciences here. It was the NDC that considered it prudent to build an airport in the Volta region. And on 6th March this year, all those planes are coming to land at the airport and bring the people to come and celebrate 6th March. They would have had to come by road if that airport had not been built. Ladies and gentlemen, too much has happened to us as a people, but we have a duty to ourselves to learn from history and chart a path accordingly. And I'm giving you a quote from President Ronald Reagan. He says, the greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does great things. He is the one that gets the people he leads to do the greatest things. And I subscribe to what he said. The next government of NDC would not be about me. It would not be about forming a cadre of family and friends to enrich themselves at the expense of our people. The next government of the NDC will be about you. In all humility and with a rekindled spirit, renewed energy, sharpened vision to help save our dear country Ghana, I formally announce to you my candidacy for the presidential primaries. I formally announce to you my candidacy for the presidential primaries of the National Democratic Congress. Thank you, pardon me. Thank you, pardon me. And I'm proud and honored that our NDC family, young and old men and women from all over the country, are standing firmly behind me. When a commander leads his army into war, he wants to look back and see that there are soldiers, men and women, standing strongly behind him. I feel humbled by your love, and I hope you all know that I love you too. I must also thank the diverse group of individuals who continue to volunteer, donate towards my campaign. Some of you, students, professional traders, Okada riders, among others, concerned drivers, voluntarily set up platforms to mobilize funds to support my campaign. I want to thank you very much for that effort. My brothers and sisters, I am John Dramani Mahama. Your proven servant leader, and I ask you to bless me massively with your trust and your votes on May 13th and subsequently on 7th December 2024. And I pledge to you that I will return your generosity and your blessings with the hard work in the presidency of Ghana. Ghana needs experience and not experiments. Ghana needs a leader who will hit the ground running on 7th January 2025. Ghana needs a leader who will not be given an orientation and excursion through the Flagstaff House because he knows there already. Ghana used to be the shining light on the continent of Africa, and I'm of the strongest conviction that we can attain those heights again. I believe it, and we will lead by example. And as I conclude, I wish to thank my wife, Lordina, who has been my dependable partner on my whole political journey. And I wish to thank all of you, and may God bless the NDC, may God bless the Republic of Ghana, and may God bless us all. Thank you very much.